Welcome to Storage and Memory Demystified. In this lecture, we'll explore how devices and computing interact in the digital age, why storage layers exist, and what design trade-offs matter. I'll guide you through core concepts, common architectures, and practical implications so you can connect hardware behavior to real-world performance and system design decisions. When we look at the memory hierarchy, think of a pyramid trading speed for capacity and cost. Registers in L1, L2 caches sit closest to the CPU for lowest latency and highest cost per byte. DRAM provides main memory balance. SSDs and HDDs handle bulk storage at lower cost, and virtual memory extends capacity at the expense of latency. Proximity to the core dictates performance and overall system efficiency. Memory architecture evolves through density, parallelism, and interface improvements. DDR generations increased burst rates and effective bandwidth, while banks, ranks, and channels multiply throughput through parallelism. At the same time, density rises as voltages fall and techniques like 3D stacked modules appear. Together, these trends boost capacity and bandwidth, but introduce new trade-offs in timing and power. Cache design often determines real-world CPU performance more than raw clock speed. Set associative lookups, coherence protocols like MISI, hit rate math, and write policies shape behavior, while line size, prefetching, and inclusivity influence effective CPI. In short, cache mechanics and access patterns, how often data hits the cache, and how it's managed, are central to reducing stalls and improving application-level throughput. Hard drives are mechanical systems where moving parts define latency. Platters, read, write heads, and rotating sectors create seek delay, rotational delay, and transfer delay. An average access time combines these components. HDDs still win for areal density and low cost per terabyte, especially for cold or archival data. And techniques like SMR increase capacity at the cost of more complex write behavior. Solid-state drives rely on flash management techniques to mask, wear, and maintain performance. Charge trap cells, wear leveling, garbage collection, and a flash translation layer coordinate to optimize writes. Different cell types SLC, MLC, TLC, QLC show declining endurance curves as density increases. Over-provisioning and DRAM buffers reduce latency and stutter, and NVMe protocols deliver much better parallelism and throughput than legacy AHCI. New memory technologies and interconnects are reshaping system architecture. Options like 3DX point, MRAM, and ReRAM trade endurance, latency, and addressability in unique ways, while computational storage offers processing near the data. At the system level, PCIe 4/5 and CXL enable pooled, disaggregated memory and accelerator resources, unlocking coherent memory sharing and more flexible cloud rack architectures. When we measure performance, we balance bandwidth and latency depending on workload. Peak transfer rate matters for large sequential throughput, whereas round-trip delay and IOPS drive responsiveness for small random requests. Designers tune queue depth, parallelism, and controller design to match target workloads, accepting MB, S versus IOPS trade-offs to achieve the desired balance between throughput and responsiveness. Benchmarking storage requires nuance. Synthetic tools are useful but can misrepresent real behavior. Synthetic tests may hide preconditioning needs, cache effects, or idealized profiles, so they should be complemented with application traces that capture real-world access patterns. For accurate prediction, capture workload-specific traces, emulate deployment behavior, and validate with representative data rather than relying solely on synthetic scores. Automated data tiering classifies data as hot, warm, or cold, and moves it between DRAM, SCM, SSD, and HDD to balance cost and performance. Lifecycle management and cost performance curves help find the sweet spot for placement. At the host level, page coloring, NUMA affinity, and write intent bitmaps optimize latency and endurance, while system tuning aims to balance speed, endurance, and energy for overall efficiency. Ensuring data integrity depends on layered verification and resilient architectures. Checksums, CRCs, and ECC detect and correct bit errors, while RAID and erasure coding distribute data in parity across disks to tolerate failures. Regular scrubbing, planned rebuilds, and MTTDL calculations inform recovery planning, and the right focus is on robust recovery strategies and proactive monitoring because media fails are inevitable. The boundary between memory and storage is dissolving as persistent DIMMs and byte-addressable arrays emerge. Single-level data models make storage look and behave more like memory, challenging OS page management, requiring where-aware allocators, and prompting new programming models for durability. This shift offers big performance potential, but introduces security and persistence considerations that systems must address.